The following may contain strong opinionated views. The views and opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the views or the opinions of any social media or broadcast platform.
Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversations and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now, here's your hosts Frank Allan and Brian Camp.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. Here we are once again. It's another Thursday right here coming from New York. That's where we originate, live coming from New York. The name of the show is called Talk Back Live, but we just don't stop in New York. We're all over the world. We're a global show. Right now it's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning, 10 a.m. in London, 3 a.m. in Israel, and it's 9 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan. We're so glad to have you aboard with us. We're going to be here for a whole full hour. We meet here every Thursday at this time, and we get you involved in the show. Everyone gets a chance to put in their 2 cents wherever they want to talk about. It's all right here. It's free forum, and we invite you to come along. Now, those of you who've been with us for so long, well, we thank you. We always thank you each week because you've been with us from the beginning and you're still here. So we thank you so much for that. For the people who are possibly new and here for the very first time, well, we'll tell you what the show is all about. Now, as the host of the show, I'm going to get things started, get things rolling, get into the prep mode. And as I do that, at any time at all, you can use your keyboard on your computer, be it laptop, desktop, your telephone, or even your tablet. And you can type in whatever you want to type in. I'll see you right there on that big screen, and I'll entertain all of your thoughts and ideas because that's what the show is all about. It's free exchange of ideas and of opinion. Now, all of us do have them, so why don't we get them together, put them all together, and let's share them all together right here on Talkback Live. We got a good show for you. We want you to stay with us, and remember that all of you are new. We're on 2 different platforms. And we're live on those platforms. We're live on YouTube and we're live on Facebook. So wherever you are, please feel free just to join us. And remember, you can tell all of your friends about it. You can do that right now. As the people from Facebook, they always use that terminology, as we cut and paste, they use that terminology called tagging. And all you're doing is cutting and pasting the platform that you're watching us on right now, and you can send it to all of your friends, as many as you want. And you can do that right now without even missing the show or being distracted of any kind. You can do that right now. So we encourage you to do that because we want everyone to come in and join us, and they can do that. And they'll see that information coming from you. All they have to do is tap on to that information that you sent them, and it brings them right here to us, and they can share thoughts and ideas as well. Now, for the very first time, they may not want to, just like yourself, if you're here for the very first time, you may not want to indulge in conversation. But the most important thing is that you're here with us right now. And of course, we really appreciate that. Now, if you can't stay for the entire hour, which I hope isn't the case, whatever time you could spend with us for as long as you can, we really would appreciate it. Again, we've got a good show for you. And Brian Camp, who brings you the latest developments in today's world of sports and sports update, is here. He's my co-host, and he's right there coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And here he is, right there on the big screen. So how's it going?
Sir. Yes, sir. How's everybody doing this evening, this morning, this afternoon, wherever you may be around the globe? I'm here. I had a great day today, and I got through the. I just got through the day, but it was a great day, I have to say.
Listen, as you always say, I'm going to steal a page out of your little notebook. As you always say, as long as you wake up in the morning, it's a great day.
That is so true. It's better to be seen than to be viewed, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I
It
know what
is.
you mean.
I mean, you don't want nobody viewing you, looking down at you, but you want to be seen while you're alive and everything. That's just something that I always thought about doing insane and everything. But it is true though. It is as soon as you wake up, it's a great day.
It is.
Trust me when I say that. The activities of your limbs and your and for you to move around is a great sign as well.
Yeah. Is that steady warm weather in your area yet?
It's been the last couple of days it's been a little cool, 70, 75 degrees. Right now it's 70 degrees here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina. And
Mhm.
it's been coming along, I must say it's been the weather, like the weather's been very steady. I would
Yeah.
I would say it's been very steady and everything.
Yeah. Well, over here in New York, we're not quite as stable because it's kind of a yo-yo effect. Sometimes we go up. Today we were up around 61 degrees for the high. Then the other days you get somewhere around mid 50. And then, I think somewhere before the weekend starts, maybe before the weekend starts, if not this weekend, the following weekend, we go back up to 70 degrees. For how long that's going to be, I don't know. But
Exactly.
we roll with the punches. We
That's
roll with
right.
the.
That's right. That's exactly what you got to do. Just roll with the punches.
I want everybody to know if you're watching us and you happen to be in the room, remember that you can talk to us at any time you want. If you have something to say, you can have your input. We really appreciate that. But if you're a first time viewer and you just rather sit back, relax the show, and watch the show without saying anything, that's okay too. That's the most important thing. We hope at some point that you get a chance to do that. And conversate with us because we love to address you personally. As a lot of people, they come in. We got people on Facebook, people on YouTube, and they talk. And maybe one day you'll get to do that. We look forward to that.
That's right.
Well,
Absolutely.
Brian, it's the last day of April, the final day of April. This is it.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
not
I
going to.
tell you, we've had our share of April showers though in the last couple of days. It was coming down, not coming down hard, but coming down steadily. Where that it was just incredible how we can go out with a bang, and it was hot too at the beginning of the month. Then it got cold. Now
Yeah,
it's just like fading away. Now, since May is coming up tomorrow, we get more May flowers. So we'll see how things go with the flowers, but one day at a time, though. Just one
yeah,
day at a time.
yeah. We had some showers overnight and parts of the day, but for some reason the sun managed to break out. I don't know. They didn't predict that. They just said it was going to be cloudy all day, but somehow the sun managed to predict. And no matter how many predictions you can make, Mother Nature has different plans sometimes.
Yeah,
And
that's true. Yeah,
so, so I guess her plan was okay. You say cloudy, but we're going to break out some sunshine. Let's spread a little sunshine a little bit. But I really appreciate it. Listen, I appreciate it. Sunny, raining, I appreciate it all. You got to have some sunshine. You have to have
mhm,
some rain. That's about
yeah.
it.
What's that?
Well,
What's it? What's that old commercial? Don't mess with Mother Nature. Remember that commercial back in the
right. That was
70s?
that was an old parquet commercial.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah,
It's not
uh,
nice to fool with Mother Nature or
that's
something like
right.
that.
That's right. You do know I have a copy of that commercial
Oh my
because
goodness.
I like to collect old things like that. When it comes to radio and TV, I like to collect old broadcasts, and I do have a copy of that commercial. It's not nice. I might even post it on Facebook tomorrow. Anyway, here we are, the final day, and the final day we could talk about is Scottish American Heritage Month. This is the final day that we can talk about it, so that's what we got. And again, those of you who are in the Scottish community, or maybe you're in Scotland and you're watching us, because we do broadcast in Scotland, we're all over the world. If you have anything to talk about as far as activities going on in the Scottish community, or anything at all, or maybe you just want to talk about the culture, the nature, all of that. We're open to it on this last show. One more time for the balance of this month, which is today. We've got National Alcohol Awareness Month as well. So I have a drug and alcohol rehab and detox center hotline for you. You can call them if you need any help with substance abuse. You can call them as 866 54 584-7022. That's 866-584-7022. It's also Parkinson's Awareness Month. Of course, you can take these numbers down and please do your research when you call these numbers. Their number for National Child, no, that's Parkinson's Awareness Month is 888-965-6005. That's 888-965-6005. We also have National Child Abuse Prevention Month, and here's a hotline for that. In case you need any help in that department, that would be 800-551-1300. That's 800-551-1300. Sexual Assault Awareness Month is still underway, and their hotline number is 800-942-6906. That's 800-942-6906. And finally, you have National Autism Awareness Month. So I'm going to give you the hotline for the Autism Society hotline number. It's 800-328-8476. That's 800-328-8476. I like to keep people informed of a lot of things, Brian. It may seem irrelevant to some, but I think those things I just brought out there, I think they're relevant to help people out. So it's not just a show where we can just entertain people, but we like to give them information as well to help them out.
Well, I think is a good cause. I think is definitely to keep people abreast on these here things, because you just don't know who's out there viewing this show who may need help, not only for themselves but for their
Yeah,
loved ones too as well. So
yeah.
absolutely, I agree with you 100%. We should definitely make this here happen, broadcast it. Um, you may get it for yourself or somebody else who might not be tuning in, and I think is excellent. Great idea. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, and if you ever come up with anything that you like to put out there yourself, man, you could help out as well if you like. And I'm just, you're the co-host here. You can do
Yeah.
anything you want.
Oh
You
yeah.
know.
Listen. I have always have a lot to say. There's been something on my mind since yesterday and last night, put it like that. I was thinking about, shall I do it on this platform? Should I wait until tomorrow? Because I'm really disturbed about what is going on. But let's see
Well,
how I
well,
feel.
Brian, if you're disturbed about what's going on, you have to pick because there's so many things that are going on.
You're
So
right. You're right. You're right.
it's sometimes it gets to the point. Sometimes it gets to the point where there's just so much you can't even process it all. It just comes after you. Just keeps coming. And it
Hmm.
goes so fast. It's just like sitting in a batter's box. You ever see one of those in baseball, they have those machines, those practice machines where they throw the ball, the machine, the mechanics throw the ball. But if they set it too fast where they just throw the ball, keep throwing, you won't have time to hit them. And that's the way this is. It's
Exactly. You're right. Yeah.
but listen, we'll talk about a lot of things. We got time in the show. We'll be
Yeah.
talking about
Yes, we do. Yeah. So.
because something. If I had to do this show by myself, I'd probably lose my cool. I'm glad I have you here as a co-host. Probably
Well,
lose
well,
my.
listen, we don't want to get in trouble with the FCC and along the airwaves, but maybe one day we'll switch this show to XMM radio, and where anything is said, anything goes. So
Yeah, but we
listen,
don't. We don't adhere to the FCC. The FCC has nothing to do with this
oh
platform or any platform that's. So we don't worry about the FCC. And speaking of the FCC, that oh
yeah,
boy, yeah,
yeah, yeah. Well, he's I refuse to let this man get under my skin. Put it like this.
yeah.
I just have a lot to say about him, and then again, I just don't say anything because it's not worth losing your breath over it. Save your energy and everything. But I I pick my battles and I pick my moments when I really want to say something.
Just like my grandmother used to say a long time ago, the devil is always busy.
Always 24/7. Absolutely. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's crazy, but we'll get by. I'm a true believer in that. We'll get by on that. Okay. Nedra Telly Ross, the singer who was the last surviving member of the iconic girl group, the Ronettes, has died. And with her cousins Ronnie Spector and Estelle Bennett, Tally Ross formed the Ronettes in 1957. And the group of girls from New York City, to be exact, they were from Washington Heights. They put out their debut album called Presenting the Fabulous Ronettes back in 1964. Estelle Bennett died in 2009 at 67 years old from colon cancer. Ronnie Spector died in 2022 at 78 after a battle with cancer. And Nedra Tally Ross, who just lost, is 80 years old. That was a fabulous. They're all in heaven right now, singing their hearts out. They're all together right now. Ronnie Spector and Estelle Bennett, they were sisters. And Nedra Tally, they were cousins of Ronettes. That
Okay.
was a great. I enjoyed them. Okay, what's happening in the sports world right now? What do you got going?
There's some things that's going on, you know. Let's start with baseball, Major League Baseball. They're starting the season with the major excuse me. After, excuse me, a couple of managers were being kicked out, being fired and everything. That's what we're gonna start about. After starting the season 9-19 record tied with the Mets, the Philadelphia Phillies decided that they're going to fire their manager. Um, uh, it was time, put it like that. Rob Thomas, early Tuesday morning, got the pink slip. Don Mattingly, former New York Yankee, um, is taken over as interim manager with the task of turning around a team that was struggling mightily in every way that you could even think of, ranking 28th in runs scored, a team ERA of 1 month into the season. Philadelphia's move comes just days after the Boston Red Sox fired their manager, Alex Cora, and his five coaches. Now, after the Mets fired their manager, the Red Sox manager was fired first, and then after that, the Mets manager was fired, and excuse me, the Philadelphia Phillies manager was fired. Then they tried to get a slick, and by thinking about trying to hire Alex Cora. Alex Cora is a World Series champion manager. Now, Buster Olney, the ESPN baseball beat writer, who's the senior writer, had said that they were underperforming early in the season. Talk about the Red Sox, certainly, but the firing was shocked everybody around the industry because of the timing and because of Cora's stature among managers. One rival evaluator, how does firing one of the best managers in the game make it any better? That's what one outsider said. An hour after Saturday's game, the Boston Red Sox coaching staff was about to follow through on plans to go to dinner. But Cora then texts and the group that something came up and that the number of those on the text chain were all fired. Five coaches. So the Phillies was trying to hire Alex Cora, but that was just put aside. So Phillies and Red Sox got off to a terrible season so far. They're not scoring runs. They're not winning. And I mean, the Red Sox are in last place in the American League East. So, but they could turn this thing around fast. You know, they're a very good, talented bunch. But listen, it's like this: if you don't play for your manager, the team morale goes down. Alex Cora is an excellent World Series manager. He won as a player and won as a manager. So if the players are not performing, before you, that he really lost as they said, he lost the clubhouse. In the NBA, former NBA player. Now here we go again with this here gambling thing. Told you last that one guy pleaded guilty. Well, um, Damon Jones became the first person to plead guilty Tuesday in a gambling sweep out that led to the arrest of more than 30 people, including mobsters. And we're not going to talk about the mobsters because we know that they're in charge, that they're involved with this all the way, and other basketball figures as well. Doing back-to-back hearings in Brooklyn federal court, Jones extended guilty plea of 2 counts: conspiracy to commit wire fraud for his role in what prosecutors say were sports betting and rigged poker game schemes. Reading a prepared statement to the court after the pleading guilty to the sports betting case, he acknowledged that he is conspired with others to defraud sports betting companies by using insider information that attained as a result of relationships as a former player. So he was connecting to he was conversating with former players as him being assistant coach. Now, Damon Jones is due to be sentenced January 6th before Judge LaShawn D.R.C. Hall in the sports betting case, and before Judge Raymond Reyes in the poker games case. In the sports betting case, the sentence guidelines call for a punishment up to 21 to 27 months in prison. In the poker game case, Jones would face 63 to 78 months in prison. Now you do that, you do the math in years. 12, there's 12 months in a year, so you think 12, 24, 36, 48, 60. He's talking about 5.5 years in prison. Maybe you get out for good behavior, making a deal. We don't know. But prosecutors agreed to subtract 15 months from the sentence in exchange for Jones' plea guilty. So he's already he's going to get off with some months because he's going to start singing like a canary, singing and out. That doesn't usually end well because now you're known as a rat, and in this you don't want to be a rat. Rat, you know. And I don't want to say anything else, but it don't usually end well. That would be the potential sentence of 48 to 63 months prison if the judge follows the guidelines. Jones faces a longer prison sentence in the poker game case, in part because it involved more than 10 victims and a loss to them to more than $9.5 million. In addition to facing prison time, Jones also agreed to forfeit a total of $73,000 in 2 cases. Now, we talk about March Madness just passed. College basketball, men's and women. Well, the NCAA has initiated the final steps to expand the men's and women's basketball tournaments to 76 teams. The expansion, which has been discussed for well over a year, is on track to be formalized in the upcoming weeks and would begin this coming season. Sources indicated mid-May as a potential timeline for an announcement. The NCAA officials met with media partners for the men's tournament last week, per sources, but they had not been signed. Once the contracts are completed, the NCAA also would need approval from various committees that include the men's and women's basketball committees as well, Division I cabinet, I should say, as well. So for various NCAA committees to vote, the contracts would need to be signed for their approval. So, you know, it's coming. We just don't know when it's going to come. They got to vote on it. This day in sports, April 30th, 1905, first official soccer game began. Neighboring countries, Belgium versus Netherlands. 1939, Lou Gehrig sets a Major League Baseball record playing for his 2,130th consecutive and final game. So yeah, he played those many games before he decided to retire when he was diagnosed with the Lou Gehrig disease, a disease that was named after him, a disease that slowly paralyzed your nervous system, and eventually you won't be able to move at all. 1953, Little Big Leaguer changes his name to the Babe Ruth League. 1958, Ted Williams is 10th major league player to get 1,000 extra base hits. 1961, Willie Mays becomes just the ninth player in Major League Baseball to hit 4 home runs in a game. 1970, Billy Williams of the Chicago Cubs is the first National League player to appear in 1,000 consecutive games. 1988, Dave Winfield gets his 29th RBI in the month of April, sets an American League and Major League record. 1990, David Cone argues a call at first base while two Atlanta Braves scored. See, when you argue with somebody with an umpire, you got to make sure you call timeout before you argue with the umpire. Because if you don't, then the people that's on base can score and run as well. Birthdays on this day, 1949, happy birthday to Phil Gardner, a Major League Baseball infielder, three-time World Series champion, one World Series as a manager, was born in Jefferson City, Tennessee. May he rest in peace because he died early this month. So, it was he was a solid infielder, not a great infielder, but the news came early in the month that he had passed away, and today would have been his birthday. 1961, Isaiah Thomas, NBA point guard, Hall of Famer, two-time NBA champ, was born in Chicago, Illinois. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports. I don't have anything um for the people who's born in Scotland because this is the last day of the month. So I'm gonna bypass and not do that.
Well, there are other things coming up, and we got a new month coming up starting tomorrow. So, you'll be able to do some things like that. Brian, let me ask you a question. You mentioned earlier about the firing of some managers. Um, when you said the Mets, they fired the manager from the Mets. You weren't referring to Carlos Mendoza, were you?
No, I made a
Oh,
mistake. It wasn't the Mets manager. It was the Philadelphia Phillies manager.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I made a mistake. Yeah, it was the Philadelphia Phillies manager who was being fired, and because they are not playing well, and
yeah,
they didn't do well in the playoffs, and
right,
so they decide to fire him. That's the easy way out. And forgot to
yeah,
mention, there's the NBA playoffs also that's in progress. Also, there's that time of the year with the NHL and hockey and the NBA playoffs. Right now, the Knicks are beating the pants off of the Atlanta Hawks, 83-34. That's the 30 seconds left in the first half. So
yeah.
you could just turn away from that game because that game is over.
And back to baseball, I know that the Mets are still down in the dumps. When I brought up the Mets, when you brought up the Mets, and I talked about Carlos Mendoza, I'm worried. I'm worried. I was wondering if he's actually worried about his job because the Mets, they're doing terrible.
They're doing very. If you losing to the Colorado Rockies, you're doing terrible,
Yeah, you
terrible.
know.
Yeah,
And so, I mean, the question was asked of Mendoza whether or not he was concerned about his status. I guess the reporter was trying to sugarcoat it and make it sound like are you worried about being fired? He didn't say it exactly. He just said, are you worried about your status? I wanted to listen to the answer, but he didn't actually give a good answer. He didn't give an answer to that.
no, he didn't
So
give a good answer at all.
I,
No,
let's pull for the Mets. Let's pray for the Mets, man. Because uh, I want to see Mendoza stay in there. I don't know how long he's been the manager for the Mets. I'm not really up on that, how long he's been with the Mets. But let's keep our fingers crossed. You never know. The
yeah.
Yankees are off today. They took off today, but they're coming back tomorrow. They're going to be at Yankee Stadium in New York. They're going to be playing the Baltimore Marylands. And for those of you who care, if you want to watch the game, you can check it out. You'll check out your local listings. They're on. I do know that they start at 7:05 p.m. Eastern, and those are the Yankee. What about your San Francisco Giants? You want to
They
put them?
lost the first game of a doubleheader. Now they're in a rain delay, so then we're not doing what we expected. So we
Mhm.
are, we're not doing too well. No, no.
Well,
But
right now, I'm sorry for you. I'm really sorry for you.
oh no,
Uh,
you don't have to be sorry. We just, listen, baseball season is a marathon, okay? It's going to be a while, but they got to start winning games. I have to admit they need to start watching games. I mean, winning games and they got to get into contention. But right now, they're dealing with a first year manager. They're dealing with a, a GM right now who is a former player in Buster Posey. So he's trying to get his feet wet. This might be his second year, I believe. I'm not quite sure, but um, they got a lot of new players. They got new management. So I'm not calling in the season, but they got to show some kind of progress in winning. Because the Giants culture goes a long way. The San Francisco Giants culture goes a long way. So they got to start doing what they supposed to be doing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as for the Yankees, I'm enjoying the moment for the time right now.
Yeah, for the moment, enjoy. Yes,
They're 20 and 11 right now. That's not bad at all. They're 20 and 11. They've been winning a lot of games, so
it's good enough
uh,
to be in first place, though.
yeah, that's where they are right now. They're in first place, and they're doing good. When they started out the season, they were doing good, and they started trailing a little bit, falling back, losing games, and now they seem like they're back on the track. But I'm just, you know what? I'm just enjoying the moment. I'm gonna continue to root for them because I'm married to them, for better or worse.
For better or for
And
worse.
yeah, so I'm just hoping that they keep. I'm taking one day at a time because that's all you get, one day at a time. And
Hmm.
but I gotta to say, I do have to say that they could use a bullpen. They could use a bullpen. Um, Fielding is not bad. They have a pretty good defense. It's not that bad.
Well, you need a bullpen, especially for down in like the latter part of September when you
Yeah,
get ready for the playoffs. You want to make sure you have your bullpen is set and ready. So yeah, I agree with you on that.
yeah. I'm going to flip the switch, flip the script for just a minute because I know last weekend you were saying, I think it was Saturday or Sunday or whatever, and you said you were going to go to see the Michael Jackson movie. Did you see it?
I saw it. I caught the 10:45 matinee show on Saturday morning. Wanted to get there because I'm a firm believer. You want to get an early start, even though it was a no work day or anything work like that. Even on Saturdays, I'm up early because I want to do my errands early. And by 12 noon, I want to be set free for the rest of the afternoon into the evening. I was able to see the Michael Jackson movie. It was great. I liked it. Um, there was no Janet Jackson,
No,
no Randy Jackson, no
nope,
Reby Jackson.
nope.
Now, my thing on this is that there's been trouble in the family. If you heard about Jermaine um, Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
started dating his brother's ex and had two kids by her. They both had two kids by the same woman.
Mm-hmm.
And Randy did not like that, but then Randy was fooling around behind the woman's back and didn't really wasn't married to her. We just had two kids by her. So it was just one of those family situations. And Janet, who's very close to her older brother Randy,
Mm-hmm.
everybody think that Janet was close to Michael. Yes, she was close to Michael, but she was even closer to Randy because they were closer in age.
Mm-hmm.
Because Janet is the ninth child and Randy is the eighth child.
Mm-hmm.
So they were the two that were very, two of the youngest ones. But the movie was great. There will be I believe there is a second one coming.
Well, the
Um,
way it ended, it should be.
yeah, yeah, it should be,
Should
and
be.
it was great. People was dancing in the aisles and
Yeah.
doing the steps and everything, and I started patting my foot. I started to get up and do one of this because who's a better Jackson 5 fan than me? I know the moves, I know the steps, I know the numbers, and so I almost
But
got
as
up
I was,
too.
as I was watching the movie, I you said it was great, but as I was watching the movie, I said, I seems like I saw it before. And the reason why I say that, remember the movie that when Lawrence Hilton Jacob played the father, Joseph Jackson?
With Angela Bassett,
Yeah,
was playing.
right.
Yeah. Hmm.
And when I saw this movie, I kind of reflected back to that movie. I said, it's the same thing, you know.
No, it's not. It's not the
Seemed like I,
same.
but to me, it seemed like I've seen it before. That's what I'm saying.
With the one with Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, it was about the Jacksons.
Mhm.
This one was about Michael. Big difference.
Yeah,
Big difference. It was the
yeah,
Jacksons with the entire family, with the entire group of the Jackson Five and the Jackson. So this one was about Michael, Michael
mhm,
himself. That's why it's titled Michael.
yeah,
Um, so that's the big difference.
yeah. The that was Michael's nephew that played him. You know.
That was Jermaine's son that played a role of Michael in there. He was great. He was terrific. Looked
Oh,
like
so that
him,
was
talked
Jermaine's
like
son.
him. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
that is Jermaine's son. And
yeah,
I mean, he was just awesome and everything.
yeah.
Um, all those Jacksons look alike. They all look alike. Yeah.
They do. They all look alike.
And the one that played Joe Jackson was pretty good too. I mean, Joe Jackson got those thick eyebrows. May he
Yeah,
rest in
yeah,
peace.
yeah,
And but
yeah.
yeah, it was forget the person name. He's a very good actor. I've seen him in movies, but I mean, listen, both movies were great. The the one that played by Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, he played a great um, 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 the a father, and the one that just played Joe Jackson also played a great part too.
Yeah. You know, when I saw him, I thought about because when they made him up and he looked just like the character Lawrence Hilton Jacobs. I mean, they looked alike. If you put those two together, the two actors together, dressed up in that makeup like that, they looked alike.
That's right. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens with the sequel. Anyway, Mary is watching us on YouTube, and she says, "Really, you know the steps? You know the steps of Michael Jackson?"
Yeah. My favorite Jackson 5 video is Beat It. Um, dun, 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 beat it, beat it, beat it. I don't want to show the number here out here worldwide, but yeah,
Oh,
I,
the Billie
I
Jean is the favorite of a lot of people ever since they had that 25th anniversary of Motown when Michael Jackson did the moonwalk for the first time. And
exactly. And
and
the 30th anniversary was great too of Michael Jackson at Madison Square Garden.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I'm glad you like the movie. I'm glad you like the movie. And again, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying for me, for my taste, it seems like I saw something like that before.
Yeah,
But
Mary, you definitely got to see the movie. Um, I see you're a big Michael Jackson fan. I'm a big Jackson 5 fan more than I am a Michael Jackson fan. I love
yeah,
Michael, don't get me wrong, but I'm a huge fan of the Jacksons, you
yeah,
know. So,
yeah.
yep.
Oh, anywho, we're going to go back in time because back in time on this day in history, we're going to go back to 1861. U.S. President Abraham Lincoln orders federal troops to evacuate Indian territory in the U.S. Civil War. On this day in history, in 1939, FDR becomes the first U.S. president to appear on TV when NBC RCA television broadcast the opening of the 1939 New York World Fair. On this day in history, 1945, Arthur Godfrey Time begins a 27-year run on CBS radio, and it ended in 1972. On this day in history, in 1961, Tossin' and Turnin', that single released by Bobby Lewis, made the Billboard Song of the Year of 1961. On this day in history, in 1969, WEDB TV, Channel 40 in Berlin, New Hampshire, that's a PBS station, begins broadcasting. Back in 1971, U.S. troops invade Cambodia. In 1973, Paul McCartney releases Red Rose Speedway album that includes the hit song My Love. In 1974, U.S. President Richard Nixon hands over partial transcripts of the Watergate tape recordings. In 1975, North Vietnam troops captured Saigon, ending the Vietnam War. Back in 1978, a British film, The Stud, starring Joan Collins, based on the book by her sister, Jackie Collins, premieres in the UK. In 1992, the 208th and final episode of The Cosby Show airs on NBC. In 1996, U.S. President Clinton approves the sale of $227 million of crude oil from the strategic petroleum reserve, and the U.S. gas prices were there at the highest level in 5 years. In 2001, U.S. President Dick Cheney, that's U.S. Vice President Dick Cheney, calls for increased domestic production of fossil fuels and increases usage of the nuclear power to meet America's energy demand. In 2004, Mean Girls, starring Lindsay Lohan and Rachel McAdams, was released. In 2015, U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders announces he will seek the Democratic Party nomination for president. In 1908, actress Eve Arden, who played on Stage Door and Our Miss Brooks and Mother-in-Laws and Grease, she was born in Mill Valley, California. She died in 1990. In 1923, actor Al Lewis, who played on Car 54, Where Are You? And he played Grandpa Munster on The Munsters. He was born in Brooklyn, New York, and he died in 2006. In 1925, country singer Johnny Horton was born in Los Angeles, California. He died in 1960. In 1926, on this day in history, actress Cloris Leachman was born in Des Moines, Iowa, and she died in 2021. In 1938, actor Gary Collins was born in Venice, California, and he died in 2012. In 1941, Johnny Farina, who was part of the group Santo and Johnny, that their music Sleepwalk back in the 50s, was born in Brooklyn, New York, and he's 85 today. In 1943, pop singer Bobby V, with his hit Devil or Angel and Take Good Care of My Baby, was born in Fargo, North Dakota, and he died in 2016. In 1944, on this day in history, actress Jill Clayburgh was born in New York City. She died in 2020. In 1948, actor Perry King was born in Alliance, Ohio, and he's 78 years old today. In 1976, astronaut Victor Glover, who made that recent trip, he was the pilot, the African-American pilot on the Astron 2, was born in Pomona, California. He's 50 years old today. Actress Kristen Dunst was born on this day in 1982 in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. She's 44 years old today. In 1937, General Douglas MacArthur marries his second wife, Jean Faircloth. In 1988, actor Tom Hanks weds his second wife, and still with her, Rita Wilson, in Los Angeles, California. She's an actress as well. In 1989, actor and comedian Robin Williams weds Marsha Gossins in Lake Tahoe, California. In 1990, former Jeopardy host, and he was the original host. No, not the original host, but we'll get to him in a minute. Alex Trebek, Jeopardy host Alex Trebek, weds real estate Mongo Jean Caravan in Los Angeles, California in 1995. Country singer, songwriter Roseanne Cash weds record producer John Leventhal. In 2008, singer-songwriter Mariah Carey weds actor and rapper Nick Cannon. In 2011, actor Lorenzo Lamas weds the model Shauna Craig in Cabo San Lucas. And aviator Bessie Coleman died on this day in 1926 at 34 years old in a plane crash. And she was born January 26, 1892. And she was born in Atlanta, Texas. 1970, actress Inger Stevens commits suicide at 35 years old. Actress Agnes Moorehead died on this day in 1974 at the age of 73, and she died from cancer. To be exact, she died from uterine cancer, and she was born December 6, 1900 in Clinton, Massachusetts. Blues musician Muddy Waters died on this day in 1983 at 70 years old from heart failure. He was born April 4th, 1913 in Mississippi. In 1988. Operatic tenor, also starred in Othello. His name is James McCracken. He dies at the age of 61. In 1989, actor Guy Williams played the original TV version of Zorro, and also he was in Lost in Space. He dies of brain aneurysm at the age of 65 years old. In 2007, actor Tom Poston from Newhart and Mork and Mindy dies from respiratory failure at 85. Also, the same year, 2007, singer Zola Taylor was the only female in the Platters. The group, the Platters, dies at the age of 69 years old. In 2015, you have soul singer Benny King. Remember Stand By Me? He dies at the age of 76 years old. In 2022, country singer Naomi Judd dies of self-inflicted gunshot wounds at the age of 76. And finally, in 2024, musician Dwayne Eddy dies of cancer, complications of cancer, at the age of 86 years old. So that's what's happening on this day in history. And those of you who may know what's happening on this day in history, you want to horn in and kind of give us some information or what you might know that happened on this day in history, we look forward to hearing to you. Just type it in there. We'll see it. And we'll recite it off. People will see it anyway when you type it in, but we'll do it orally as well. And remember, you can get in touch with us just in case you want to get in touch with me or Brian. You can do that. And I'll give you an email address and a telephone number. And you can take it right down right now. The email address is Frank Allan Prod. Prod, Allan is spelled Allan. Prod is Prod. Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Keep all of that information and all of your electronic devices, if you have more than one, like your computer, your cell phone, and even your tablet, just in case one is not available, you have something to fall back on. You can use that information 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days out of a year, and use it anytime you like. Well, I have those movies that I want to talk to you about. I have only one. I only have one from Turner Classic Movies. And I think you're gonna like this one. It's a real serious drama. Goes back to 1955. This is a film called I'll Cry Tomorrow. Susan Hayward played an alcoholic in this movie. It's a real touchy movie. But it's black and white. You love it. 1955, along with Richard Conte and Eddie Albert. And you can see it on Turner Classic Movies. It's Sunday at 5:45 p.m. Eastern. And you can check that out, Turner Classic Movies. And since that's the only movie I have on Turner Classic Movies, I want to one more time tell you about this movie called Thrash. It stars Phoebe Dynevor and Whitney Peak. And you can check it out on Netflix. All right. It's on there right now. So maybe after the show, you can go there and check it out for yourself. It's a beautiful movie. So it's one of those sit at the edge of your seat kind of movies. So that's I'll Cry Tomorrow with Susan Hayward, Richard Conte, Eddie Albert. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 5:45 p.m. And Thrash with Phoebe Dynevor and Whitney Peak. And that's on Netflix. Well, Brian, let's get started. But the first thing I want to throw out there that will lead us to everything. And I know, and this is one of the things I was really peed off about this, and I know you are, and everybody else is watching, about the Supreme Court's decision on gutting landmark voting Right Act. That was established. They say 1965 here, but it was really 1964.
Well,
Now,
that was the change of the reconstruction of the old Republican Party and the Democratic Party.
yeah.
Um, so it, let me give you a brief history on that, and you can help me out along the way, or Mary may help me out, or whoever else is watching. Um, Lyndon Johnson signed the Voters' Rights and the Civil Rights Bill because he was being pressured. So what happened was the Democrats has been where the Republicans are right now. So basically, what happened was Lyndon Johnson was being pressured by the Democratic Party the old way. So, in order for him to sign the bill, he had to switch parties. I mean, he had to switch parties, and so the bottom line is this: that Democrats and the Republicans just switch over. So now the Democrats is where the majority of the minorities of this country vote, who are liberals, versus the conservatives who are the Republicans now. That's how it is now. They just change it. Lyndon Johnson was being pressured. He was losing his voting for running for president, and he was being pressured by the civil rights people, for the Civil Rights Act and the Voters Act as well. This goes back all the way back to 1865. In slavery, the Democrats was the one that wanted slavery. That's
Mhm.
what it was. Abraham Lincoln's intention was not to free the slaves. Okay,
Right.
let
Let's get that straight.
yeah, he had no intentions of freeing slaves. What was the agreement was his main goal was to keep the Union together. He wanted to keep the North and South together as a country, but part of the agreement was to free the slaves. Because in order for the slaves to be free, the agreement had to come into place where that was part of the deal. I'm just giving you a short version of it, but that's how it is right now. Now, fast forward now, we're in danger of losing our voting rights because of these little things that's going on,
Yeah.
shutting down certain sections of areas where there's black voters and everything. Roland
Mhm.
Martin, who has a podcast, who used to be on CNN and had his own show for a while on TV, was it TV One, warned us on Donald Trump's first time in office that this is what he's gunning for. 8 years later, he's back in office, and this is what he's doing now. This is why we're telling people of color, black people, you have to vote. You have to vote because it's coming. Now, I can't celebrate the United States of America's 250th year of independence. I cannot do it. No, because of stuff like this, shit like this is happening. It's driving me crazy. It's driving me nuts. It's not right. Our ancestors lost their lives so that we could vote. And now this is what Donald Trump is doing now. He's doing it in a sneaky, sly way and everything that's driving people, that's driving our people bananas, people of color. When I say people of color,
Wait a minute.
black, brown,
He doesn't do anything on a sly way. He just comes out and just do it.
he does it, but he wants to keep it in a way where that he's not, the finger's not being pointed at him. Everything that happens in Congress is through Donald Trump. And the Republicans have no spine at all to challenge him. That's the thing that annoys me.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, Roland Martin said it. I've been saying it for a while too. I don't have the platform like Roland Martin had. The voters' right and the civil rights is on the table, and he's going after it. Both
Mhm.
of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things with that. Now they're going to do this because in the running, we got midterms in less than what 6 months from now, November 3rd. That's the day. That's the voting day. But people are going to go out and they're going to vote early, or whatever. But they're nervous. They're nervous because they're going to lose everything. They're going to lose the House. They're going to lose the Senate, and they're going to lose the White House as well. So he's got to get all of this in. Now, here's my take on this. When the Democrats, and don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of the Democrats either, but don't get me wrong. When they come back into power and they grab all of those things that was taken away from all of those years ago, the first thing on the agenda would be revert everything that he's doing right now. Revert that. Now this thing with the power of voting, and that is a power. Voting is a power. With this thing of voting, with this voting, this the free election, or no, the voting rights, the voting rights act, right? When they finally bring that back, what they're going to do, hopefully, I'm predicting that if when they finally bring that back, and they will, I guarantee you, they'll bring it back. When they bring it back, they're going to go beyond. They're going to add more to it. They're going to go beyond it. So it's going to be a lot tougher to anybody to screw with it after that.
That's
But
right.
yeah, this country has gone backwards.
Yeah.
And women, if you women are listening, be very careful and listen to this. Women, they want to take you back to the 1950s. They don't want you, because women today, they're very resourceful. They have their own businesses. They have everything. They got all of that under their belts. But this administration, and I hate to say it, but I don't think Donald Trump really liked women. I don't think he liked women. And I'm not talking about his sexual preference. He just doesn't like women, especially smart women. You know, so he wants all of this to go back to the 1950s, where women will stay home, wear their little beads around their neck, their aprons, and stay home, make babies, and that's it.
A woman's place was in those years back then in those times was in the kitchen and in the
Yeah,
bedroom.
that's right.
And that's the mentality that he still has. I don't care what anybody said. Donald Trump is what he's doing right now. This second term. Somebody just made a quote. I was on a Zoom earlier. Donald Trump is in it for the money. He's trying to make money before he leaves office. He doesn't give a damn or two shits about what's going on right now, about what's going on with this country. But
He
people,
he know he knows he's on his way out. He knows that. That's why he wants to leave his mark anywhere, everywhere. Hey, do you realize that he wants to put his face on a coin? He wants to put his signature on paper currency. You know what's up next? He wants to put his faces on your passport.
oh yeah, I heard that. Yeah. Here it is. This is his third assassination attempt. His third. And I think
Well, some I say second because I think the first one was a hoax.
all three of them were staged.
Yeah,
All three of them
yeah.
were staged.
You wait a minute, you think this one was staged?
I think so too. I really believe so. Something is not right. The first two assassination attempts were two people were Republicans. The third one, the man was an independent. He's an independent. But they're trying to blame the Democrats. It has to be staged. Something is not right.
I mean, I've heard that before. I've heard that, but I wouldn't. I just wonder why would they stage something like that at some kind of big dinner that cost a lot of money that they wanted to put on this show that they wanted to put on.
To do a diversion because so then he will not go to jail. Everything that he does, he will not go to jail. And that's how I look at it. To avoid jail time. I'll say this here. How much time we got? A minute and a half left. I'll say this. I don't trust what goes on in this country, especially what happened in the 60s. If you could cover up an assassination of a U.S. president, a civil rights leader, and a U.S. senator, all in the same decade. Something is not right. I'll leave you with that.
Are you going to be here tomorrow?
I'll be here tomorrow. Yes, I'll be here tomorrow. I don't have to go to the school and nothing. I'll be
Good,
here.
because we didn't even finish this. We got Jimmy Kimmel to talk about. We've got James Comey. We got all of that to talk about tomorrow.
And Mary, if you out there, I want you to be tune in. If we could hook you up on live so that you could be on, let us know, because we need to talk about this here. Okay?
That's for sure. That's for sure. Okay, Brian, I definitely look forward for tomorrow. I look forward for tomorrow.
Okay.
And we'll see you then. And for all of you guys who are joining us, I'll be back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. That's for the coffee hour. Brian is going to be with me, as you already heard. And he'll also be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. We hope that you'll be here too. And you can catch us back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for more of Talk Back Live. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant good night. And we'll see you then. Take care.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with Frank Allen and Brian Camp. The producers are Al Dale and Katina Camp. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.